Alright, welcome back to Flight Sim 2024 and welcome back to the A2A Piper Aerostar. And very cool, the Aerostar has now exited early access, so this is now version 1 of the Aerostar, and as you can see with that, we've got a cool new livery. Other cool stuff that we can do is we can now do walk around stuff in the normal kind of walk around mode, or whatever you want to call the Flight Sim 2024 thing, where we can walk around. Wow, look how much that elevator can move. Yeah, so we can do... Can I do tie downs from here? Okay, that's still the elevator. Rudder. Okay, the control locks are not in. What else can we do? So I believe you still get the normal walk around mode with the tablet. I haven't actually looked at that, to be honest. I know you do with the Comanche. See, I can click this, but it doesn't seem to do anything. Oh, you can open these up and have a look at the fuel inside there. That seems really full, actually. We're supposed to be at about 50% fuel. Okay, I can do stuff here. Not sure what that's actually doing. Right, but also, I just want to get flying in this aircraft and put some hours on it. So we can see like the wear and tear and the dirt accumulation and that kind of stuff building up. Oh, I think I was clicking on something through there. Okay, this is interesting. We should have 50% fuel on board from FSEconomy. If I put those here, I'll put them in. Okay, cool. Is there a way? Oh wow, there's another tank here as well. I forgot about. That's very interesting. So that filler must be right at the top of the tank, because that tank, you pour it in horizontally, which is kind of interesting. So we don't get like any like bags or stuff that we can put in here. Maybe if we do like the normal walk around mode. But anyway, we are going to be taking our Aerostar from here at Nelspruit, where we finished off the previous Aerostar flight, and we're taking it down to Richards Bay in KZN. So that's the plan for today. Where's my tablet? So let's see, does it have... See, it doesn't look like it has the normal walk around mode like the Comanche has. So it seems like it's just that we need to do. Interesting. Right, I need to come and check here. So we're 57%. I don't think that's working properly, because those tanks looked full to the brim. Okay, so let's take some out of the fuselage tank. So we should... Oh, that's too much. I'm just trying to match it to FSEconomy, because I put in 50% fuel. Like so. And... forgotten now what we actually have on board. We have 5 passengers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, plus baggage. Right, we're currently 2386, max is 24. So we can put in some more baggage that they can bring with, which is good because it's bringing our center of gravity back as well. So let's do like, see how much we can put in there. Okay, that's too much. So 91. So 2495 is our max with 2454 and 50% fuel. Why did I put that away? Because I'm going to need that actually. Because we should have a checklist now. Okay. So pre-flight is complete. Passengers are briefed. Do we actually see them in there? No, we don't. Is that a setting in here somewhere? Yeah, don't see that anywhere. I thought there might be a setting in here. In this section. Okay, it doesn't look like it, but that's not the end of the world. Right, let's go back. Checklist. Seatbelts. Cabin door. Okay, that's not what I wanted. So how do I close it with the top part then? Yes, okay, cool. Closed and locked. Okay, so battery and ignition is off. Gear switch down. Cool. Gears down. Flaps up. Brakes. Okay, I mean, we're not actually going to feel that. Let's just set the parking brake. Switches all off. Then we can turn on the battery. Gear lock lights. Cool. Elevator and rudder trim. Neutral, neutral. Hydraulic shut-off valve. Is here somewhere. Open. Fuel we have checked. Low fuel warning should be off. Checked. Circuit breakers in. Now, where are the circuit breakers? This side. Cool. None of them are popped, because if they do pop, you'll see the little white line. Altimeter and clock. We are QNH 1017. And we're currently set to 15, so we'll do that. Cool. Engine start. So, props, full forward. Mixture idle, cut off, throttle cracked. Battery on. Low fuel warning is out. Right boost pump on. Okay, right. Actually, what I'm going to do is mixtures full so I can do them like this. Okay, full forward, and we're supposed to see fuel flow, which... Is that it there? Interesting, we see it. Even with the mixture down, that's interesting. Okay, this is not the easiest aircraft to start in my experience. So, let's go. Start. See, and nothing happens. So I've had this pretty much every time I've had to start this aircraft, and I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Starter engage, mixture full rich as the engine fires, but it never does. Aha! Okay, so maybe I flooded it by doing that too early. Okay, let's turn some of this off. Engine start we don't need, because it has its own sounds for that. Okay, so maybe I was just too early. I do actually have to wait for it. Okay. Fuel boost pump off. Gyro pressure. Cool. Right alternator on. And we do the same for the left engine. That's gone out, which is good. Okay, so let's come back here and do this. So we do actually need to wait for it to fire. Oh, I didn't switch the boost pump on. So maybe we have to open it just to get a bit of fuel in there first. See, it shouldn't take this long. Okay, and that one I had to just push in the mixture and then it worked. I don't know. Okay, but it's running. Okay, left alternator. Right, let's get the avionics on. Okay, and then we can set up our route. Let the engines warm up a bit. What did we fill to? So 310 liters, 231 kgs. I mean, what is this even showing us? Gallons. Oh wow. We just lost that, which means there must be a better way to do this. But this will get it to come up with that fill again, hopefully. Okay. Refuel. Yes. Change. Change. Adjust. How is it going down? Alright, I have to hold it in. Gallons. How many gallons did we put in? 82. Quite a fiddly system. Okay, 82, save. That is done. Cool. Let's go ahead and get our flight plan set up. So, Nelspruit. I'm going to be using Beyond ATC for the traffic and air traffic control. And I have Active Sky running for the weather. Right, we go direct to Dulpu, like that. Then it is UT 915 to Jerax. Can load that. UQ 63 to AppGap, and then direct to Richards Bay. That is our route for today. Okay, this should be on standby. And we need to go back here again. So I wonder if I can just do my run up here. Warm up at 1000 RPM. We've actually been doing a bit more than that. So that's probably bad. Full forward. Let's do full rich. Throttle to 1500. Check instruments. Check 28 volts. Wow, we're not even... Oh, push for volts. Okay, I was gonna say. Right. Then throttle to 2100. Cycle RPM 4 times. Oh, cycle 1000 RPM to max. So it should go down to 1000 and back. Okay, magnetos. Oh, this boost pump can come off. So a little bit worse on the left. This one. Those are basically exactly the same. Gyro pressure is good. Okay, I know you wouldn't normally do this in the apron area, but hey, it's flight sim, there's no one walking around. Okay, before takeoff, cabin door controls mixture, we'll do that once we get closer to the runway. Let's go 118.5, which we are on, and ask for clearance. Johannesburg Control, good morning. Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey, Piper Aerostar on the ramp at Nelspruit, and we are requiring IFR clearance to Richards Bay.
Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey, Johannesburg Control West. Expect runway 22. Climb 7,000 feet on runway center line, then expect radar vectors Delpu. Squawk 3323.
Okay, expect runway 22, initial climb 7,000 feet, radar vectors to Delpu and squawk 3323, November Tango Whiskey.
Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey, read back correct. Start or taxi at pilot's discretion. Hold for release. Report holding short runway 22.
Report holding short runway 22, November Tango Whiskey. Okay, runway 22 is the far one. Let's go flaps 10. So we got a bit of a taxi to do. Right, release the parking brake and let's go. Beautiful early morning here in Nelspruit as the sun starts to rise. Now, I don't think this runway has a taxiway. I think we're just gonna have to backtrack all the way. There is this here. Is this a taxiway? No, that's... yeah, it is. I don't think it goes all the way to the end, but we can certainly use some of it. Although, I believe I would be putting my engine through this taxiway sign. No, not quite. Okay, we're going downhill here. So just keep an eye on the speed. This goes onto the runway, but it looks like we can actually continue along here. This might actually take us all the way to the end. See, actually every time I've landed in Nelspruit, I've come from that direction, so landed on runway 22, and therefore I've never needed to taxi like this, because you end up just at the apron on the other end. Okay, cabin door, controls, mixture, full forward, prop full forward, boost pumps on, 1 and 2. Instruments, we are good, radios, good. There's a satellite image of an aircraft parked here. And November Tango Whiskey, runway 22, ready for departure. Okay, we're going on the grass here, I guess. And coming in.
Sierra November Tango Whiskey, released for departure. Clearance void if not off by for 5 Zulu. If not off by for 5 Zulu, contact no later than for 15 Zulu. Time now 3:43 Zulu. Frequency change approved.
Clear for departure, November Tango Whiskey. Okay, flaps set, trim good. Pitot heat we don't need, parking brake release, throttle full. After takeoff it will be wheels up, gear up, flaps up. And then climb, we're going to look for some maximum of 122 knots. We're going to look for about 100 knots in the climb. And then fuel pump off after 1,000 feet. And 24, and climb between 122. Oh, maximum climb is maximum vertical speed, I guess, so we can actually aim to climb out. Yeah, for now let's do 122 because there are mountains around here. And the other thing I want to do is just bring this up so that we have that. Cool, let's get out of here. We do need strobes and landing lights. Oh, my switch only does 1, so we'll do that manually. Okay, power set. That left engine lags a little bit behind the right. Airspeed's alive. Tap the brakes, gear coming up. Knots, flaps coming up. I'm not sure you would take off from runway 22 in reality. Okay, let's trim out to climb at about 122 knots. We'll make it over this terrain. We're climbing to 7,000. Plenty of power. We won't reduce the power or the RPM until we're over this hill. And Center November Tango Whiskey, passing 4,000 feet, climbing 7,000. Okay, I think we're safely above this. We need to back off because we're getting a bit hot on the cylinders.
Johannesburg Control West. Good morning. Radar contact. Continue climb to 7,000 feet.
Continue climb to 7,000. November Tango Whiskey.
Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey. Turn left, heading 150.
Left heading 150, November Tango Whiskey. Those cylinders are still quite hot. Okay, let's get the autopilot on. That was a bit aggressive. Okay, that's better. Okay, there's 6,000. We need to level off at 7,000. Rudder trim is sorted, mostly. There we go. Coming up to 6.3 now. Delpu, November Tango Whiskey. Okay, that can go into nav mode. And we need to just deal with this. So I'm just going to reduce the climb and then level off at 7,000. Right, CDI is GPS, direct Delpu, and we're on nav. That doesn't seem right. I think this is our problem. There's 7,000. Okay, I think I need to dial this in correctly if I remember now. So, we need a desired track here. 163. So that's 170, that's 150, 163 is about there. Okay, we're level at 7,000. There is a way to get the TDS to do this automatically, but I have to go and change something in the settings. Okay, oh, there's a lot to do. Those could have come off long ago. Landing lights can come off. The rest we are fine. Let's get this up and do the cruise checklist. So power, 24 inches. So up to 24 inches. We're at about 20 now. So let's do 20. And between 2,000 and 2,400. Right, which one is the heater? Okay, so this is working now. But how do I heat this up? Do I have to turn this on? Cabin heat. It doesn't seem to be doing anything. I had this issue last time and I thought it just hadn't been implemented. Now it's going up, but I don't know why. So I don't know what these do. That must be for the passengers. Okay, let's see what we got here. Airspace. So I don't really know what's causing the heat. Okay, that has to do with it then, for sure. Right, we're coming up to Delpu. We've picked up a bit of altitude for some reason. Is this doing nothing now? wonder if this needs to be on. As now we're just sinking like a brick. Okay, just need a little bit up here, so I'm using a bit of trim to work with this. Right, just give me a little bit of climb. Okay, there we go. Right, and us reaching the altitude is going to coincide with this. 191. That doesn't make sense. Oh, it does. So that would be 190, so it's about there. So much stuff to do. Okay, let's keep that gradual climb now. It's very hot in here. Let's do altitude hold, and let's reset this. I think that might be part of the problem. Okay, I've turned the heat off, but it still is very hot. It seems like it's gradually getting better though. What a beautiful morning. We barely looked outside because there's so many things going on in here. Okay, and if I just do this and like open these, it drops a lot. Now we're just pumping in cold air. It is also quite loud. Hey, we can put our headphones on. Okay, let's stop that and see what happens to that temperature. Okay, 27 is still pretty hot. Okay, Richards Bay weather. Scattered clouds at 16,000 feet. Wind 312 at 1 knot. So very chilled weather in Richards Bay. Lucky with this cloud base because often this sinks down here to the mountains and then it's just impossible to get through. I mean, we could still do it IFR. We can climb more if we need to. Trying to get through here VFR is quite a challenge. Okay, let's ditch this and see what happens now. Then we also need to do lean find. Okay, so there's peak. So normal, enrich until 50 degrees drop. So you want to be minus 50 there, I'm guessing. It's changing so much. Why does this keep moving? Okay, so about there, I guess. Dropped quite a lot of speed. And we have a tailwind, that's interesting. So let's go to 22 on the manifold. Look at our speed. Okay, ground speed is 170. I mean, I guess because of that big tailwind, our forward airspeed actually looks quite low. Something's wrong with that gauge, and I think it's this. Either that. No, if I'd left like a pitot cover on or something, we wouldn't get any reading. No, something is definitely wrong with that gauge. Suction's fine. Are we stalling? We are. Why? So it is just the mixture. Okay, we should be alright. I can recover this easily. Okay, I've got the leaning thing entirely wrong then. That was weird. Okay, this attitude indicator isn't as like... It doesn't move as far as I thought it would. Because I was looking at that and I'm like, oh, we still level. That's why I thought this was dying. We'll pick up that speed again. But then yeah, I do not understand this lean thing. need to read up about that. Slowly lean until EGT peaks and then rich until 50-degree drop. Pretty sure that's what I did. Anyway, we nearly stalled. We would have been alright though. Now we're going into the clouds now. Right, that speed is much better. Wow, a whole bunch of pockets of low visibility here that we're passing over. And you can really see it down there. Back up to speed. Cabin temperature is good. 198 in 8 seconds. So that will be, that's 200, so we'll go to that and 2 down. Now. About there. We are cruising along nicely. Now we need to be aware of needing pitot heat and stuff like that as we're in the clouds. What is our temperature? Is this the one with the weird temperature gauge like up here somewhere? Yes. Celsius. We're at just under 20, so we should have no issues with icing. It's probably going to get kind of bumpy in here though. Right, 12 minutes to Gerax. Actually going to create a view for this so we can keep checking it easily. It's still 19 degrees, so we shouldn't have issues with ice. temperature is not changing at all. Just tweaking these. So now we got them the same. Desired track and actual track. 199. 210 on the ground speed. That's 10 minutes to Jerax. Just keeping this out of the way so I can still see what we're on there. So, if I pull this out a bit, will this temperature go up? Doesn't seem like it. See, because this says air, temperature, and defrost would be like for the windows and stuff. Doesn't seem to do anything. Because it says blower, I wonder if this is for your feet. Because the problem with this is it's on and super hot, or it's off and then it gets cold. Decimal niner, November Tango Whiskey, good day. Okay, see, this is something here is doing something. Jasper Control, good morning. Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey, 7,000 feet. Everything is still in the green. And we are cruising along nicely. Can't really see all that much in terms of scenery because of the clouds, but still a very cool flight. Still 19 degrees. And 6.5 minutes to Jerax. Some good things to be aware of here. Best glide for range 122 and best glide for endurance. So far and long. So range 122, stay in there as long as possible 105. Max crosswind 20 knots. Well, we're gonna have no issues in Richards Bay because the wind's only 1 knot there. This is something we need to play with at some point. Just under 4 minutes to Jerax now. I'd say Jerax is about the halfway point. so we need to adjust to 206 now, which is about there. Okay, it's still good on temps. Can't see anything now. Plenty of fuel on board. Right, 15.5 minutes to app gap. So we're 204 and 206. Alright, 206, 206. And that should come right up there to the center. We'll just keep an eye on that. Yeah, looking good. Plenty of fuel. Everything's in the green. Making good speed with 207 knots ground speed. Pretty much bang on here. There we go. It's kind of fluttering between 6 and 7, so that's alright. Okay, 7 minutes out from App Gap, and then we got quite a substantial left-hand turn. Going into Durban King Sharker, and probably coming from Cape Town, I think, if they're on Getox. Yeah, I don't know if we would see this far. They would be out here somewhere.
Safari 286, Gatob 1 Delta, runway 24. Report ready for descent.
Gatob 1 Delta, runway 24, ready for descent. 286.
So they were Getok 1 Delta. Just want to see if I'm right. Let's go full. Oh, okay, so they're not coming. I wonder where they're coming from then. Maybe Lanceria? Because I thought it was this one that came along the bottom here like this. Coming in there. I mean, you could do this from Tambo, but it'd be a bit weird because you come more from there. Maybe Lanceria, or like, where else would Sapphire fly from Durban? Could be Cape Town and they just come along this side. Maybe PE. I don't know if there is like a Port Elizabeth to Durban Sapphire flight. Okay, 4 minutes. Temperature still exactly the same. It's a little bit, just looking at the active sky map, there's a little bit of rain scattered kind of to the southeast of Richards Bay. It could move up, but I don't think it's going to get there in time to hamper us. We're going to be there in about 17, 18 minutes. So it's unlikely that it'll reach there in time. Okay, just 3.5 minutes now to our left-hand turn. See, we definitely picked up a bit of dirt on the engines there, so that's cool. I mean, not cool that the aircraft is dirty, but cool that that is modeled in Flight Sim now. Okay, cabin temperature is quite low again. The heater is on. Temps coming up slightly. Okay, 2 minutes 20. Very busy in terms of flights at this time of day. So it's like 20 past 6 in the morning. Us.
Heading 145. Vectors for Richards Bay Airport.
Left heading 145. November Tango Whiskey. Okay, so that's about there. Now we can go heading mode, so we're not going to actually do that big turn, although it's probably pretty much what we were gonna do. I think I'm sort of dealing with the cabin temperature stuff. I don't really understand how these things work, but it's doing something. Okay, 13 minutes out. I don't think there's any charts for Richards Bay. There is. Cool. Right. I want the airport elevation. 109 feet. Interesting. Lots of heliops between here and the harbor. It doesn't really matter which runway we take because the wind is so calm, so we'll just see what ATC gives us.
Safar 668, contact Johannesburg, control west 118.5.
Contact Johannesburg, control west 118.5. Safar 668.
Okay, so we'll go down to 1,500 feet. So that means we need to lose. That means we need to lose 5,500 feet. Give us a VOR. Expect radar vectors for the VOR DME runway 23 November Tango Whiskey. I thought they were just going to give us visual, but we can do VOR DME runway 23. Very cool.
Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey. Turn left, heading 075.
Left heading 075, November Tango Whiskey. Okay, so intercepted 2,000, not 1,500.
Right, heading 140.
Right, heading 140, November Tango Whiskey. said it was 20 past 4 or 17 past 4. I think it was 37 past 4. So it's now 6:45 local time. This is GMT. Okay, we actually need to prep for this arrival. Okay, 113.0. So let's flip that in. And it will be a course of 233. So there's 230. 1, 2, 3. And then we just need to do CDI back to VOR. Cool. And like I said, intercept at 2000. So our ground speed, I'd say, will probably be on the lower end here, 80 to 90. We'll probably start off around 100. So looking at about 500 feet per minute descent rate, I think we'll be fine. Clouds have cleared, it's all behind us. We can see the coast, and that's Richards Bay over there. Right, for the approach, boost pumps, mixture, fuel selector, on. Well, it is on now already, okay. Gear down, gear lights check, hydraulic pressure check, airspeed 140, and then we come in at about 100 knots. Minimum 610 feet, although I highly doubt we will need that today. Let's sort out that rudder trim, because it seems like the wind has shifted.
Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey, radar vectors, board me runway 23. Report ready for descent.
Are we are ready for descent now? Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey. Landing runway 23, November Tango Whiskey. Right, now we're going to get to play with this thing again.
Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey, expect radar vectors for board me runway 23.
You've said that like 6 times now. Radar vectors for the VOR DME runway 23, November Tango Whiskey. Descent at flight level 050, November Tango Whiskey. I don't think we were ever on a flight level. So I guess we need to set this to 1013, which is about there. And we can come down here, go to attitude, see how it freaks out completely, which it didn't this time, which is great news. And start a gentle descent. I'm gonna bring power back a little bit. Okay, we really need to keep an eye on this because we have no like altitude selector. We just have to watch. So we're coming through to 6,600 now. Okay, bringing the power back. Let's check that rudder trim. We can tweak that a bit. Right, descending at about 1,000 feet a minute. So that gives us just under a minute to go for 5,000 feet. Cabin is nice and hot now.
Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey, descend to 3,000 feet.
Descend to 3,000 feet, November Tango Whiskey. There's 5,000, but we're not leveling off. We're going down to 3. Right, I'm just going to put the landing lights on now. So long. Temperature's coming down, which is good. Okay, we're all the way down on the coast, so bringing that mixture up again.
To 2,000 feet.
Descend to 2,000 feet, November Tango Whiskey.
Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey, 3 miles from FD2 tree, turn right, heading 220, maintain 2,000 feet until established on the final approach course. Cleared Vortny runway 2 tree.
Okay, right heading 220, descend and maintain 2,000 until established, and clear for the VOR DME runway 23, November Tango Whiskey. Okay, let's get the props coming forward.
Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey, contact Richards Bay Tower 118.9er. Have a good morning.
118.9er, November Tango Whiskey, good day. 118.9er, November Tango Whiskey. Right, there's the localizer.
Negative. Tower on 118.9er.
Oh, really?
Over to Tower 118.9er. Zulu Sierra in November Tango Whiskey. Bye-bye.
Okay, that was 2,000 feet, so we need to slow our descent quite a lot here. So, it would be nice if I wasn't stuffing around with radios when people don't understand. Richards Bay Tower, good morning. Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey on the VOR DME runway 23 established.
Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey, Richards Bay Tower, runway 23 cleared to land.
Clear to land runway 23, November Tango Whiskey. I don't see the runway. That's the runway there. How on earth did our VOR DME put us nowhere near that? Oh, it's because I'm an idiot and I did 250 instead of 230. Genius. November Tango Whiskey going missed.
Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey, go around. Fly runway centerline, maintain 2,000 feet.
By runway centerline, maintain 2,000 feet. November Tango Whiskey.
Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey, contact Johannesburg Control East 119.9er.
119.9er, November Tango Whiskey.
Negative, Johannesburg Control East on 119.9er.
119.9, November Tango Whiskey. Johannesburg Control, November Tango Whiskey with you again. Missed approach, runway 23.
Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey, stay altitude.
1,700 feet, climbing 2,000, November Tango Whiskey.
Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey, welcome back. Continue.
Continue, November Tango Whiskey. Okay, give me a left-hand turn, sequence me back in there, come on.
Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey, turn left, heading 170.
Left heading 170, November Tango Whiskey. Wow, look how calm the sea is. That's crazy. there's 2,000. And then let's reset this. Cool. Okay, let's get this right now. So if I go back here, it is 233, not 253 chop. So there's 230. 1, 2, 3. Okay, give me another left-hand turn, please.
Fair 286.
That's not me.
Approach 125.75.
Contact approach 125.75. Severe 286.
Now sending me out over the ocean.
Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey. Turn left, heading 060. Expect further clearance in about 20 miles.
Left heading 060, November Tango Whiskey. Okay, so that'll put us parallel straight down the runway. And we're about 9 miles out, so she's probably putting us on like a 15-mile final. Glassy smooth ocean, that is so cool. Active sky has some scattered rain showers out behind us. They are moving this way. But we'll see. We should be in before they get you. So we're just going to go past the airport now and then wait for her to turn us back in and clear us for that VORDME. This is interesting. Why does it put this on that side? I mean, this is all... I mean, it's flat, basically. It's the water. But it's wanting to us to... I mean, this is our glide distance. So if we had an engine out, that's as far as we could glide. But I could glide the same distance in basically any of these directions because it's over the ocean. Left heading 045, November Tango Whiskey. Okay, we're pretty much ready for vectoring onto the approach now, so hopefully she gives that to us soon. We're about to go feet dry. If this has to do with the wind.
Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey, turn left, heading 350.
Left heading 350, November Tango Whiskey. I'm just backing the speed off a bit so that we can maybe make this turn.
Sierra November Tango Whiskey, 8 miles from FD2 Tree, turn left, heading 265, maintain 2,000 feet until established, cleared for ordinary runway 2 Tree.
Left heading 265, maintain 2,000 until established and cleared for the VOR DME runway 23, November Tango Whiskey. Okay, 12 miles out. So I said about a 15-mile final. That was pretty close. Okay, lights are still set. Temperature is pretty cold inside again. Just keep an eye on that CDI.
Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey, contact Richards Bay Tower 118.9er, bye-bye.
118.9. November Tango Whiskey, good day. Right, let's arm. I guess we don't even need to arm approach, we can just arm nav. There's no glide slope. Okay, hopefully this time our approach puts us reasonably lined up with the runway. There's the runway there, we're not lined up with it at all. Okay, I have control. Let's start getting some flaps in. Mixture's full, props are full, lights are set. I never actually did the tower switch. Richards Bay Tower, good morning again. Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey, runway 23 established.
Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey, Richards Bay Tower, runway 23 cleared to land.
Get a land runway 23 November Tango Whiskey. Okay, we have 3 green lights on the gear. Hydraulic pressure is fine, 3 greens, and we're on the glide slope at 100 knots. Looking good. Need a bit of right rudder trim. Okay, these trees are quite intense. Right on Alpha, November Tango Whiskey. flaps coming up. I didn't actually turn the fuel pumps on, that was a mistake. Right, welcome to Richards Bay. November Tango Whiskey, request taxi to assigned ramp.
Zulu Sierra November Tango Whiskey, ramp 5 taxi via Alpha.
Ramp 5, taxi via Alpha, November Tango Whiskey. Okay, we're just gonna go, we'll have to go back onto the runway. And taxi all the way back. Okay, flaps are up. Wow, that was a cool flight. A little bit cloudy here, but nothing serious. The rain hasn't made it here to Richards Bay yet. The other thing I didn't do was actually set my altimeter. But they never actually gave me an altimeter. Because normally when they assign you the approach, they give you the altimeter. They didn't give me anything this time. So that's interesting. I guess we can turn this off. 21 in here now. Yeah, so we taxi and we're going to turn left onto the little apron there. Right, we can turn these off, and we can turn the strobes off as well. Where exactly do you want us to come from here? Parking brake set. There's our FSEconomy flight done. Let's turn these off. Fuel pumps are already off. Right, there we go. That can come off. Suppose we can leave these on, it doesn't really matter. Master avionics. And then beacon and nav lights. These go back to off. That's cool, that can go off. That I guess we can switch off. Cool. Switch this off as well, and then battery. Right, welcome to Richards Bay. Lovely, peaceful flight in the Aerostar. But you can see we've picked up a bunch of like dirt and splatters and stuff on the airframe. So that's very cool. Yeah, mostly just around the leading edges. Interesting bird call that. So I think that's just like bugs and dirt. I was gonna say like stuff for there being thrown up from the wheels, but we have it like up there and stuff, so I think it's just bugs and things like that that we're flying through. Yeah, a bit on there as well, and on the nose. Okay, so we do have that kind of dirt and grime, wear and tear build up, which is very cool. But safely down to Richards Bay, and a nice chilled cross country with Beyond ATC and the A2A Aerostar. So that's going to bring us to the end of this video. As always, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you did enjoy it, you know what to do down below, and hopefully I see you in the next one.